When it comes to trimming your balls, use the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. It's the right tool for the job.
Would you use a knife to split firewood? What about a blowtorch? Or would you chew at it like a beaver?
No, you'd use an axe.
Head to Manscaped.
The thing
We're not
is,
sponsored.
He also was
We're not
super
sponsored.
into-
Y'all see the title? Y'all see the y'all see the thumbnail. Shout out for my first reaction video. Shout out to my story animated. And we're gonna react to this.
Hi, my name is Britta, and I'd like to tell you how my big teddy bear got me pregnant. Sounds absolutely insane, doesn't it? I'd like to tell you how that actually came to happen. Even if you might not believe it at first, it'll end up making sense in a twisted way. Believe me. So let's start from the beginning. I was
Alright.
kind of sheltered growing up. My parents always were really overprotective and didn't allow me to go to parties or anything of the sort. So I didn't
Those are
get
the
much
worst
freedom
parents.
until I actually moved out to college. I got a scholarship, and my parents helped me pay for the dorm I was
He's
living
one
in,
of those
which was
kids.
awesome. Sure, we still talk on the phone all the time, but I was truly alone and making my own decisions for the first time in my life. That being said, since I was always so sheltered, I felt kind of alone and lost when I moved into my new place. It wasn't something I was used to, the whole making new friends and taking care of myself thing. So I struggled a bit, and it wasn't easy at first. I felt lonely all the time, and most of my nights were spent watching movies and eating frozen meals on my sofa.
It'd be like
That was
that.
until I met this amazing guy, Bran, at the laundromat. I was sitting there, reading a book all by myself, and he just walked over to me and started talking. He said
Now
I
I
seemed
know
lonely, and it was
the
such a
title
big
was
relief
clickbait.
to have someone to
But like
speak
I
to,
just
you
wanna
know?
see.
So we made
I
a
just
great
wanna see
connection
how,
right
like
away, and it didn't take long for him to ask me out. He was super cute, and the first guy I really liked, so I said yes. He helped me out so much as well. He taught me how to drive so that when I could finally afford a
wow.
car, I wouldn't struggle with lessons. Bran also helped me out with different things around my dorm and gave me great tips on how to save money on super basic stuff I would have never
He's trying to
thought
get
of.
in them pants.
But the best
He's
thing
trying to
I
get in
learned
them
from him
pants.
was how to actually make friends in college and gain some confidence. Before him,
Hold on.
I honestly
Hold on.
was how to act
Whose daughter built like whose daughter out here built like
and make friends in
continue.
college and gain some confidence. Before him, I honestly sat in a corner of the classroom and left immediately after the teacher was done with the lesson. Bran showed me how to approach people without acting all awkward or shy. He was the one who took me to my very first party, and believe me, we had a
Of course
great
you did.
time. He was awesome. I fell madly in love with him, and we almost immediately went steady. It was as if we were never apart. He began sleeping over in my apartment, and of
Of
course, he
course.
had a key to it, so that he could just come over whenever he wanted to. His
Of
place
course.
wasn't as nice, so we rarely went there. Since he made some money working a part-time job, he sometimes took me out to eat, and it was a great change from the frozen meals. Soon after we started dating, though, I decided I needed to learn how to cook, and Bran actually helped me pay for the lessons. Yeah, he was pretty great. Or so I thought. Because as long as I stayed
Always
with him,
like this.
Bran was the kind of guy who gave you everything he
Always
had,
like
and was
this.
so sweet. But the second we started drifting apart, well, things got weird.
Aw.
Not at first, anyway. He was really sly about it, and I didn't discover his disgusting plans until it was far too late. Bran was also super smart. He aced all his classes and helped me with my homework, which was such a load off
Course.
my shoulders. He knew a
Always the
few
perfect
cool
ones.
memorizing techniques, which he taught me, and it made studying so much easier.
When it comes to trimming your balls, use the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. It's the right tool for the job.
Would you use a knife to split firewood? What about a blowtorch? Or would you chew at it like a beaver?
No, you'd use an axe.
Head to Manscaped.
The thing
We're not
is,
sponsored.
he also was
We're not
super
sponsored.
into pranks, and that wasn't so cool. He would wake me up in the middle of the night with these creepy voices and laughed whenever I screamed. Do you know that kind of prankster that paints the floor with butter just to see you stumble to the floor? Yeah, well, that was Bran. Imagine always being worried about what your boyfriend is going to do next because he might either be super sweet and caring or pull another silly prank. I even hurt my head once because he put tape across the door. I smacked my forehead with it and fell
Ooh,
backward, hitting my
that
head on the way
sucks.
down. I had to actually get stitches, but Bran found it hilarious. I refused to speak to him
Leave
for like
him.
a full week after that.
Leave him.
He apologized and bought me flowers, which was sweet, but a few days later, the pranks just started again. Now I know it was sort of annoying, but he had lots of good qualities, and that's why I decided I wanted to keep dating him. When he was good, he was great. It was only that he didn't seem to have many boundaries when it came to messing with me. Perhaps I should have taken that as a warning sign, instead of just shrugging it off and thinking it was no big deal. Bran was also the kind of guy who loved to surprise his
Bro, this
girl in
is
nice ways.
really long.
Whenever he
Like,
got any extra money from his parents or a bonus at work, he'd buy me super sweet gifts. Oh, you should have seen the gorgeous ring he got me once, and all the pretty dresses. And once, well, he got me this big, white, fluffy teddy bear. It was larger than me. It took
this
up
is
half
where it
my
gets
bed,
interesting.
but I didn't mind. It was simply the cutest thing I had ever seen. I loved it, and thanked him so much for it. Funny thing was, we weren't celebrating any special occasion or anything of the sort. He just gave it to me to show me how much he loved me. Or so I thought. Well, the thing is, after my first year of college, I ended up meeting this incredible guy, John, at one of my classes.
Another
I
incredible
truly
guy.
did still care about Bran, but there was something about John. It was truly love at first sight. I saw him smile and just melted. It was as if we clicked from the start. We laughed and
Now I ain't gonna say nothing, but she for the
talked as if we had known each other for years. The thing is, Bran was amazing, but his pranks were getting too intense. I asked him 1,000,000 times to stop, and he never did for real. Plus, I kind of began dating him a few weeks after moving into the big city. He helped me start my life there and taught me so much. It just felt natural that I should be with him. But when I met John, I realized that I had never truly been in love with him, just grateful for everything he had done for me. I liked him and everything, don't get me wrong, but he simply wasn't the right guy for me. I wanted to stay friends with him because I still cared deeply about Bran. So I decided to explain to him what was on my mind.
Now where does it get interesting? Where does the interesting part get? I'm sorry. We
For a
skipping.
while, it seemed he accepted it. Bran explained he'd need some time apart before actually being able to be my friend. And
So you
I
broke up
understood it
with him.
completely. After all, we had been dating for a long time. So anyway, John and I started going out. Months,
Of course.
and my relationship with John continued to improve. It was
Of
incredible.
course.
I never thought to ask it back, and figured he would just throw it
Mm.
away or something. He didn't. And you won't believe what he did next. One night,
Finally,
John and I
is it getting
came back into
interesting
my
now?
dorm. I didn't know Bran was there, hiding. I'd find out about it many months later. John got down on one knee and gave me this beautiful ring. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was so
No
happy.
way.
Of course,
Man's proposing already?
we were too young to get married, but not to get engaged. We'd give each other time to finish college before actually setting a date, but at least we both knew where our relationship was heading. I was so happy and kissed him, holding him tight. We were intimate that night, and John slept over afterward. 3 months later, I discovered I was pregnant. Now, this might seem only natural to you. I was with John, and he got me pregnant, right? Wrong. It was around that time that Bran sent me a text message. He hadn't been talking with me at all over the past few months, so I found it weird. I had figured he simply didn't want to remain friends after all, you know?
Really?
When I read the text, I went so pale, believe me. I couldn't believe what he had sent me. Bran explained that he had snuck into my flat multiple times using the key I had given him.
Oh
He
wow.
even saw John propose to me. And
Oh
boy,
wow.
he wasn't pleased
He
about
a
it.
stalker
So he
stalker.
snuck into my dorm again the very next night and actually got inside the big teddy bear he had given me. Can you believe it wasn't really a gift? but part of an elaborate plan? Back when we were dating, he had bought it to scare me. The teddy bear was big enough for him to fit inside it, and the idea was that he'd slip into it one night and wake me up making growling sounds and flapping the teddy's arms around. But instead, since I had dumped him, he decided to sneak into the toy bear after we broke up. I loved to sleep cuddling the toy, and he knew it. So one night, before I got into my room,
Oh
he snuck
nah.
into the teddy and
If he did what we think he
waited for
did.
me to come home and fall asleep. He got me pregnant, using the teddy
How?
bear to be in my bed while I rested,
How?
and I never even realized what
How?
he was doing. Brandon admitted in his
How?
text
How?
that he was doing all of this to get back at me and to ruin my life for dumping him. He thought it was so funny. I'm so mad. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I should tell John that the baby isn't his, because the explanation of how I actually got pregnant is so incredibly insane. What if he doesn't
How?
believe me, even if I show him the text? I really, really need some advice. What should I do? Please tell me in
Really?
the comments.
Need
What would
some
you do
advice?
if you were in my
Now that's crazy. That's so crazy. I have so many questions on how he was like able to do that. But like I can kind of tell, but like, oh, never mind. Never mind. Smash like for more reaction